Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
Shalom, family. I pray all is well with the righteous. We've done something. The Most High had me to stumble upon something accidentally, and this is how it happens sometimes. He will have us stumble upon something, and we had a family coming out, and I was getting the verse up to copy and paste. Long story short, once I put it in, something happened that normally happens sometimes. I see all these different translations, and sometimes I just stroll through them and look at all these translations. It's pitiful. You got all these different translations of the Bible. And for this particular scripture that I pulled up, I froze. The Most High finally, he had me to freeze and read through them. And this is what I did. And when I read through them, of course, I started seeing things. We've heard, you've heard, the KJV version is all we need. It's the best version. All those other versions are trash. We've heard this. The new KJV is trash. Guess what? All the versions are trash. You saw the message. The message about the KJV and the new KJV. Something wrong with the scripture. Something wrong with the Bible. You saw it. There are many translational error problems. So after reading through, and yes, some of them are horrible, some of them incorrect. You just changed the meaning. This is not right. And so we will cast that to the side. If it's a word that's wrong in everything else in context, we can fix the word that is wrong. So what we have here, the Most High, I started grabbing notes, and this is what you see here on the screen. The first one of the series, this will be titled Flee Babylon Translation Series. There will be different parts, and when you see them, of course there should be a playlist with all of them together. When you see and hear them, no one will be able to tell you, is Flee Babylon spiritual or physical? You will never make that statement again. We're supposed to flee. We're supposed to come out of her ways, because this is what was said. This is what is heard. If flee Babylon doesn't mean to flee the land, that's not what he's talking about. Come out of her system. You can't flee Babylon. It's everywhere. One of the things we found out going through this, Jeremiah 50 and 8 is first. And all you're going to hear is Jeremiah 50 and 8. This is what you're going to hear. One thing about these translations, these different translations from these different Bibles, they all pretty much saying the same thing. The KJV and the new KJV is saying almost. Some of them with a little twist, with a sprinkle of, like you sprinkle lemon on your fish. This is what it's like, and it's giving it zest, zing, a tangy tasting. And it makes you say, ooh, nice. So let's begin. Let's see. Will people be confused after this? The Most High is making this thing for those that's straddling the fence, to those that's listening to leaders, elders. He's going to make it abundantly clear. You have been sadly mistaken, and you have been deceived, and you are caught dead believing a man instead of the Most High. All right, I'm not going to read where they're from. You see the blue? This is where it's from. Anyone wants to check it out, they can check it out. I'm just going to read through. The first one, flee out the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goats before the flock. Once again, this is what the KJV and the new KJV says. Go forth out the land. This is the part we don't understand. Go forth out of the land. The next one, wander away from the midst of Babylon and go out of the land of the Chaldeans. Be like the male goats who serve as leaders at the head of the flocks. Now you got to remember this, because this is different than what we're going to see, something a little different than what we see in the KJV, in the new KJV. And it just brings out a little more clarity on it, because we're not shepherds. We don't have flocks. Flee out the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats, who serve as examples and as leaders in the flight before the flock. It say go ahead. It's saying go ahead of the crowd. This is what my family and I did. We went ahead of the crowd. We didn't flee from behind. The Most High said, you better flee. You better flee when you find out this information. You see, another thing that prompted this, I've had people that say, well, we're going to come out on this date. And they're giving a later date when we're already late. Very late. Everybody coming out from this time forward, you coming out from behind. You actually didn't do what the scriptures say to do. We got people that's like lingering in the lands of captivity. And that's dangerous. Now, wander far from Babylon. Get out of that country. Uh-oh. Get out of that country. Does this sound like it's spiritual? Does this sound like Babylon everywhere and you can't leave? No. Get out of that country. This is what you've been hearing on this channel. Like the rams of the flock, lead the way home. You're being told, look at this. You're being told, lead the way home. See, there was an awakening. When the awakening happened, people got this message. Come out of Babylon. They got this message, and they still in Babylon. They ain't leading the way home. Most of them will not come out. They're not really awakened. Escape from Babylonia, my people. Get out of that country. Don't wait for anyone else. We got people sitting in the country, know they need to flee. They have their passports. They know they know we're supposed to go into the wilderness. They know this, but they waiting on the elder. You see why those wicked elders said all those other translations, they trash. You see why they make that statement? Don't pay no. All we need is the KJV. They don't want you to see this. They do not want to see this. They can't teach this. When you got another motive, no another alternative, you can't teach stuff like this. Don't wait for anyone else. That pastor will have to tell you, that leader will have to tell you, this is telling you, don't wait for me. When it comes to fleeing, that's between you and your family and the Most High. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And see, that's what I have to tell people. I ain't got nothing to do with your fleeing. That's between you, your family, and the Most High. We are in a time of urgency. And you got to do this thing quickly. You're going to see that. You got to move quickly. You finish these series, you're going to understand the urgency. And I've been saying it. Babylon has been in a state. Listen, they're in a state of emergency for decades. We're in a state of emergency more than them. We act like everything's good. Run away from Babylon. Leave the land of the Babylonians. Be like the goats that lead the flock. People of Yasharah, run away from Babylonia. Run away from Babylon. Leave the country. Be the first to leave. Look at that. It's telling you and I, be the first to leave. My family and I, when we found out, we wasn't waiting for anyone to tell us when to leave. We were like, okay, I would give us a date and time. As soon as we found out, he gave us a date. He gave us a time that we should be out. And we did it. With his help, we did it. Be the first to leave. Flee out the midst of Babylon. Go forth out the land. This isn't spiritual. What's wrong with our people? The curses of Deuteronomy 28. Madness, confusion, blindness. They groping around in the noonday. They have no sense of urgency. They pretend like everything's all right. And your money? Stick with the series. Stick with these series. Because these series going to touch your money. These rich leaders. It's going to hit these rich leaders so hard. That's why they're not bringing this out. They will never. They can't. They would be teaching against themselves. Go forth out the land of the Chaldean and be as the meek in front of the flocks. There is a flock of people flocking out of countries within the borders. And he's saying we need to be the first. We need to lead the way. Be a leader. But now, get out of Babylon and fast as you can. See, fast as you can. This is a sense of urgency. See, we got people saying, we got time. We got time. Don't worry. Don't let anybody rush you out. You're going to see contradictory according to this. That's not what the Father means. He didn't say take your time. He didn't tell Lot take your time. It was a sense of urgency. He had to get Lot out fast as he can. And Lot was fighting against him. Fast as you can. You better do this thing quickly. Do not delay. Be rid of that Babylonian country. Be rid of it. On your way. Good sheepdogs lead. But don't you be led. Uh-oh. Don't you let no man lead you. How many times you've heard on your Who Is One channel, don't listen to man, listen to the Most High. Don't let man lead you. Most men today, most of our people in these groups, they're being led to the slaughter. You're going to see it. I'm sorry. You're going to see it. We got people in them groups talking about they in the truth. They being led, they are flock being led to the slaughter. They're not with this flock. Be in front of the flock. They ain't with this flock. We got two different flocks going on. One flock gonna stay still and do nothing. The other flock gonna sense of urgency and emergency. Because the Most High is gonna act. And when he act, it's no stopping. You better not be led. Don't be led by them pastors and elders, whatever they call themselves, bishops. Whatever title they give themselves, they're giving it to themselves. Lead the way home. Lead the way home. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm rallying a host of nations against Babylon. This is what we've been teaching. This is not taken out of context. This is what he's saying. Look and see what I'm doing. Don't you see what I'm doing? Says the Most High. I'm rallying a host of nations, just as the scripture says, against Babylon. They come out of the north, attack, and take her. Oh, they know how to fight. People think they don't know how to fight. Most High said they know how to fight. These armies, they never come home empty-handed. Babylon is ripe for the picking. All of her plunders will fill their bellies. It's trouble time. It's trouble. People, get out of Babylon quickly. Do it fast. Do it quick. You better get out of there quickly. You better leave that land quickly. Leave the land of Babylonian. Be the first to depart. They're saying the same thing mostly, isn't it? Be the first to depart. Be like the male goats that lead the herd. But now, flee from Babylon. Leave the land of the Babylonians. Like the male goats at the head of the flock. Lead my people home again. Notice, we're going to see exactly where the people coming out of. And we're going to see exactly where the people should be. Lead my people home. Where's our home? What you part of the covenant? You know the covenant of Abraham made to your seed, to your descendants. I have given this land. You're part of that covenant. If you're in covenant with him, then you're supposed to know how to lead his people home again. And this is what we had to do. And the Most High used these people to lead many home. Get out of Babylon while you can. Get out while you can. You still alive. That's another thing we're going to see. The death that's coming to her. And while you yet live, there's something you have to do. Leave behind this land of the Chaldeans. Be like the ghost at the head of the flock. Lead the way home. We're being told we got to do this thing and do it quick. It's a time of urgency. Let no one tell you got time. Let no one give you some false teaching. We're going to come out this way or that way. You be the first. You and your family, be the first to be out of her. Number one, two's coming up next. Shalom. Okay, on to Jeremiah 51:45. Moving right along. Is it becoming clear, abundantly clear, what the Most High is talking about when he said, "Come out of her, my people"? For most, not quite. Not quite. So we have to keep going. My people, go. You better go out the midst of her and save yourselves. You see, we were put in the land of our captivity, and none shall deliver us. None. No one. So we had to save ourselves. These other translations are saying the same thing. You got it. Save yourself, every man, from the fierce anger of Yahuwah. Every man, every woman. You say, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. We have single women coming out by themselves. Now, when they come out by themselves, make sure you understand, the Most High is going to take care of them. We have single men coming out by themselves. It's different for a man. He can handle himself. But a woman must be protected by the stronger. Come out of her. Come out of her midst, my people. Is it talking about coming out of her ways? Coming out the midst of her, my people. And each of you escape and save yourself. Save yourself from the fierce anger of Yahuwah. Oh, it's saying what it's saying. My people, go out the midst of her. Go out. Phrasal verb. Go out the midst of her and let every man save his life from the fierce anger of Yahuwah. Come out from among her, my people. Save your lives, each of you, from Yahuwah's burning anger. No one can save your life but you. You got to save your own life. My husband don't want to go. You better leave him. Save your own life. This is what this is saying. And it's right. It's right in line with what he means. Let no one keep you there. Not mama, not daddy, not children. And we love our moms. We love our dads. We love our children. Not sister, not brother, not even your spouse. Don't let them keep you there. Get out of Babylon, my people. Run for your lives. This does not sound like stand still and do nothing. You see why? Once again, you see why these groups don't want to go into these other translations? They know they're lining up. Most of it is lining up. Run for your lives from the fierce anger. From Yahuwah's fierce anger. Get out of Babylon, my people. Get out. How many times we got to be told to get out? Remember, Babylon is likened unto a burning building. And if someone holler, get out the building. The building is on fire. People will be fleeing out of there. Slow? No. Quickly. Fast. That's what the Most High is saying. You better move quick. And when he see us moving quick, he's nodding his head. Here comes my anger. The last of the 1/3 come out. It's over. Get out of Babylon, my people, and run for your lives. Before I strike the cities in my anger. See, you have to get out before he strike the cities in his anger. Because he's going to strike the cities. Come out of the cities of Babylon, my people. Come out of those cities. This isn't spiritual. What city do you live in? Come out the cities. Some people's beginning to see it a little. It say come out of the cities of Babylon. Where did any of these translations says anything about her ways? Her system. The Babylonian system. This say come out you got the wrong It's not system, it's cities. That's a big difference. System? Cities? That's huge. And don't tell us, you wicked man, you wicked to the core, man. You don't tell us you can't flee Babylon. You can't come out of her. That's like the Christians telling us y'all can't keep the law. It's too many to keep. They couldn't keep it. Y'all can't keep it. That's why he sent JC. Lies on top of lies. These people say they're in the truth, They participating in the lies. The 1/3 ain't having it. The 2/3 ain't having it. The 2/3 say this mean come out. We gonna get destroyed. This says come out the cities. We have to physically come out. The 2/3 that will get cut off in the wilderness, they're gonna have better sense than most. Most people. Stop looking down on the 2/3. At least they ended up in the wilderness. We're gonna have people scattered around the borders, inside the borders and around the borders. They think they're going to the wilderness, but they're left. They're trying to make Isaiah 11:11 crowd the second gathering, which is a tremendous mistake. Run for your lives. Run from the fierce anger. Run from Yahuwah's great anger. This is what it's saying. Come out of her, my people. Save yourselves. Every one of you. From Yahuwah's fierce anger. Are we getting a different meaning? Do this go in line with the KJV and the new KJV? Sure it does. Go out the midst of her, my people. Let everyone save his life from the fierce anger of Yahuwah. It's abundantly clear. Come out of it. Of what? Babylon, my people. Run for your lives. Escape with your lives. We have to run and escape. We have to move quickly. When you find out about this message, you say you awakened. You said you are in the truth. This is a huge part of the truth. The truth of the matter is, reality is, you have to physically leave her. Run. Run from Yahuwah's great anger. Escape from Yahuwah's great anger. This is how we escape. He's not coming to get you. Run for your lives, my dear people. He's telling us, run for your lives, my dear people. Run and don't look back. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble now. You've been hearing me say this on this channel? Our people come within the borders. They don't look back. They go back. This is saying don't look back. Remember Lot's wife. My wife be killing it. They didn't remember Lot's wife. No, they didn't. No, you're right. You're right. They didn't remember Lot's wife. Know the story and we'll tell you. Remember Lot's wife. They will say things like, we're in the days of Noah. Noah didn't come out of a system. He didn't come out. He escaped something that was coming using something he had to go into. And what he went into was a place of shelter and protection. Don't look back. And we got people leave Babylon. And look. There are people witnessing other people coming out of other lands besides Babylon. I got to make this known. You know, America is the largest listeners on this channel. I won't say followers, listeners. You come here to listen to the word of the Most High. You can come here to listen to me. I'm bringing out his word and what he said. In these translations, doing it in a different way. A different way of saying the same thing. So you're the listeners. Most of the listeners of this channel is in America. But I do have to go and give examples of people from other countries. We've seen other people in other countries come within the borders, then go back to their land. They're looking back also. They didn't come out of Babylon. They went back to their land. Now, why did they do this? These people are 100% without knowledge and understanding. They lack knowledge. And so when you lack knowledge, you're going to perish now. If they knew what the Most High, if they had the knowledge of the Most High, you would have to kill these people before they go back. You tell them, get out, go back. You would have to kill them. But they don't know any better. So they go back on their own. Don't look back. Get out of this place while you can. You got a chance. You're still living. It's going right in line with the others. It's not going away. Get out of this place. It's a place. It's not spiritual. It's a physical place. There are cities in this place. Get out while you can. This place torched by Yahuwah's raging anger. He gonna torch it, burn it up. And don't believe the Hebrew Israelite lie that he gonna take us through the fire. He's talking about trials and tests in the wilderness. This fire, it's gonna be a physical fire, and it's gonna burn everything up in it. The people including. Or else, see, these people don't trust and believe the Most High's word. Or else he would have never told us to get out while you can. He's going to torch this place. He wouldn't have said escape for your life. Don't lose hope. We got people losing hope because they're talking to the wrong people. We got people losing hope because they're not going deep into the scripture. So they lose hope. I'll show up the whole country as a sickening fraud. Bingo. America is a country. It's a sickening fraud. It's a fraud. It's fraudulent. It's actually something that it's not. It was just to be built to carry out the mission that they have, and they're going to carry it out, and they're going to be somewhere else when it goes down. It's a fraud. What's the fraud? It's the American dream. It's the richest country in the world. Everyone wants to go to America to live that American dream, to have homes and cars and good jobs and money. It's a fraud. We got multimillionaires thinking that this thing is legit. It's real. They happy, remember. Happy, making money. They're going down making money happily. Most High saying it's a fraud. You don't think this is true? It's a sickening fraud with dead bodies thrown all over the place. Dead bodies thrown all over the place? This isn't spiritual. What the heck wrong with our people? Curses, confused, madness, dumb, crazy, delusional, gone out of their minds. I'm sorry to say this. We got people saying they in the truth, listening to these people. Heaven and earth, Malachims, and people. This is us. Those that fled, came out of her, will throw a victory party over Babylon when the avenging armies from the north descend on her. That's what Isaiah says. The armies from the north, the nation from the north, there will be a victory party. Listen, family. In private Shabbat class, I already taught this. The people in the class, they know this. We talked about this. Get out of Babylon, my people, before it's too late. You have a time, you have a window. The set appointed time will happen. When we get to it, it's too late. Run, save yourselves, run. You're being told to run. The last time I checked, anyone running, they're moving quickly. You see, it didn't say walk out, run. Remember, we're in a state of emergency. Don't get caught up in the destruction. Our people most of our people will get caught up in this destruction. And see, no more would they be talking about we in the truth. We the Hebrew Israelite. We of this camp and we of that camp. All the camps in all the world that's outside of Babylon, they will be known to be a fraud because they was associated with a fraud. And all those people, my wife saw this, all those people in those camps, you still in that camp. Here is the ABC group camp that's in Europe. Watch this. They over there. ABC camp in Europe. Babylon goes down. Their headquarters go down. The people in it going to be like, what happened to them? Then they're going to remember a channel like Yahuwah is One, because they come over here sneaking and listening. Their leaders like, don't be listening to them other channels. And then they come out. My people, go out the midst of her. And each man save his soul from the wrath of the strong vengeance of Yahuwah. My people, you better go out of the midst. Go out of his midst. So that each person can save his own soul from the anger of the strong vengeance of Yahuwah.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity.